See all that smoke out there? It would seem that most of the wilderness areas in the Los Angeles area have been closed due to the January wildfires. As a matter of fact, according to the Los Angeles Times, more than 50 trails have been damaged and therefore off limits to hikers. Now, with that in mind, I'm going to show off some of the trails that we can still do, starting with one that takes us to an amazing deposit of ancient fossils.
The hike starts at the Chumash Natural Park in the Santa Susana Mountains. Directions to the trailhead are in the description. The wide path starts off immediately climbing, which is going to be the flavor of the day for most of the hike's first half. Not far into the walk, there's this unmarked junction. Continue straight. The other way is used mostly by bikers, and we don't want to get in their way.
Oh, yes again. Where I'm standing was once under the sea some 64 million years ago, before the mountains were here. They came along when the North Pacific Plate, to the west of here, smooshed up against the North American Plate. The land tilted up and formed the Santa Susana Mountains.
Another unmarked junction. Because this trail is big with the biking crowd, there are all sorts of various side paths to distract us.
My only navigational advice here is stick to the main trail, which is usually wider and more developed. And when in doubt for the first half of this hike, go up.
We continue climbing along the ridgeline, a twisting, sometimes steep route, but filled with gobs of views over the mountains. We're not that far from the suburban sprawl that is the Simi Valley, but you would never know it.
Another geology note here. As we gain altitude, the prominent rock becomes sandstone. Now, this is another clue that this area was once underwater. The way the rock formed was sediments sank to the bottom of the ocean, among them sand, about 4,000 to 5,000 feet in depth. The water pressure was so great, the grains squeezed and cemented together into rock. And by the way, the tan color comes from iron-rich minerals that are in the rock. Another trail feature is these distance markers in quarter-mile increments. At first that seemed like overkill, too much detail. But as I thought about it, I realized that during the climb, there was some sort of reassurance of my progress with some frequency. It's a psychological thing. I have no idea if anyone else needs that kind of morale boost. So why don't you tell me in the comments section, do you like markers like this? Or would you rather not even know how far you've gone?
After a little more than 2.5 miles, we come to the Rocky Peak Road, where we turn left. Going right would take us to the Rocky Peak summit, about a mile away. The up and down hiking is mostly up as we follow the ridgeline and get views of the smoky air. We're miles from any fires, but the haze is a reminder of the destruction from all the local burns in early 2025.
One last geology tutorial. After walking several hundred feet down the road, we come to this cut in the ridgeline. The southern branch of the Simi Santa Rosa Fault runs through here. Yeah, that's right. If it isn't forest fires, there's always the chance of an earthquake.
Almost exactly a mile since we started up the road, the way levels off. Continue straight and stop before the road makes a tight swing to the left. Now then, look down at your feet. And there they are, dozens of fossils. The more you look, the more you see.
The fossils here apparently date back to the late Cretaceous period, meaning 70 to 80 million years ago. The one I have here is a mollusk, an invertebrate species. There are today about 76,000 recognized species of mollusks. These guys are pretty rare. That's because when the shells were deposited at the ocean floor, most of them were pulverized by turbid waters. This place, by the way, has no official name. My friends who introduced me to it call it Fossil Ridge. We met some runners the other day who call it Fossil Top because it's the highest point of the run.
One note of caution as you rummage about the site for fossils: it's against state law to take them without a permit.
Plus, it's bad form to pocket these guys when others should have a chance to see them as well.
Once we've had enough time to appreciate the long history of life on this planet, we simply return the same way we came, making sure not to miss the Chumash Trail junction on the right. From here, it's almost all downhill.
Whew, that was a good hike.